For decades, youth was considered the happiest and most carefree stage of life, but new research suggests that is no longer the case. A study commissioned by the UN and led by top academics warns that happiness is no longer following the traditional pattern of a joyful youth, a stressful midlife, and a more contented old age. Instead, young people are reporting lower levels of life satisfaction than ever before, with happiness now rising steadily with age rather than dipping in midlife. This shift is particularly evident among young women, whose well-being has seen a significant decline over the past decade. The research, conducted across 6 English-speaking countries, points to a troubling reality. Today's youth are experiencing a mental health crisis severe enough to reshape global happiness trends. While past studies identified midlife as the most difficult period, the data now suggests that young people are the ones struggling most. The causes are complex but heavily tied to the rise of social media and smartphones, which have altered the way young people interact with the world. The study suggests that the decline in happiness coincides with increased internet usage, raising concerns about the role of cyberbullying, body shaming, and online comparison in fueling widespread distress. Young people are spending less time socializing in person, engaging in recreational activities, or even dating, factors that once contributed to emotional well-being. Experts warn that the consequences of this crisis could be far-reaching. The decline in youth mental health is not just an individual problem, it has economic and social implications as well. Increased anxiety, depression, and disengagement from social life can lead to lower academic performance, withdrawal from the workforce, and reduced overall productivity. The long-term effects could include a less resilient workforce, greater healthcare burdens, and a generation struggling to maintain stable relationships and careers. This crisis may also contribute to declining birth rates and shifts in social structures, as young people feel less confident in their futures. The study raises more questions than it answers. If young people are struggling so much, what can be done to reverse the trend? While experts acknowledge the severity of the crisis, there is no clear solution. Social media regulations, mental health support, and structural changes in education and employment may help, but the rapid transformation of digital culture has already reshaped how young people develop their identities. The traditional understanding of happiness may no longer apply in a world where online interactions replace in-person relationships and where the pressures of economic instability, climate anxiety, and political uncertainty weigh heavily on young minds. What was once assumed to be a natural life pattern, that happiness declines in midlife and rebounds later, now seems outdated. The reality is that young people today are more vulnerable to mental health struggles than previous generations, and the world has yet to find a way to address it. The UN has commissioned further research to understand if this crisis extends beyond the studied countries, but the findings so far suggest a growing global problem. If nothing changes, today's youth may indeed become a lost generation, one whose formative years are defined not by joy and discovery, but by anxiety, isolation, and disillusionment.